Days are getting longer. How you doing? On Saturdays, if I get the chance, get a break for lunch, which actually is breakfast. It's get up at dark 30 in the morning. Gotta be at work at 5. I like to come to Town Topic. There's 3 of them, and this one is over here on Baltimore. And I've gotten back on the kick since I've realized that they grind their coffee fresh and it's really good coffee. Usually diners don't have very good coffee, typical, but Town Topic does, and the people here are really nice, and food is good. I have the 1, 2, 3. Now I know Suyan's trying to jump start our diet, and it's not going to help my diet at all, but I'm doing this, limiting myself to once a week. And it's good to relax, especially this is my Monday morning, and the morning live shots kind of a rough start to the week. So if I can get away and just kind of spend a little time getting my head together, and for lunch, and then I got to go back to work. So, which is what I'm about to do. Back into it. Woohoo! Late January is when you start seeing the days get longer, and a few nice days start creeping into the mix. It's not all snow and ice and misery and gray. Around here, Kansas City, Midwest, and yeah, so you start seeing some signs of spring. There's a few nice days. I'm just leaving work, and sometimes on my way home I go through this park. They've been trying to clean this park up. It's had kind of a bad reputation in the city because prostitution and drugs. Part of what they've been doing is clearing the underbrush making it to where people can't hide in the woods, or you know, it's unfortunate because that's not the intended use of a park. You want to do that kind of thing. I guess there are places it's still illegal, but there are much more private places that can happen, and you don't have to expose the general public to it. Back to my real topic, not the park. I guess I felt the need to explain that because I didn't want to give the impression that I cruise through the park for other reasons. Actually, it's a kind of a shortcut because we can't turn left on Southwest Traffic Way, which goes right to this ramp to the highway. So a lot of people go through the parkway instead. But yeah, and you know, the park, since they've cleaned it up, is a real nice nice little drive, especially after work. I'm using the on-camera mic. This guy's let me in. And I must say that I have some nice vistas on my drive. My drive is not very short, or not very long, sorry. Not very long as far as commutes go. There's not a lot of traffic any time of the day that I drive it, so for living in kind of a suburban setting, we kind of have the advantages of the urban. That's sort of why we decided to live where we live. Well, I can see this mountain shaking this camera all over the place, kind of giving it. It's not a great thing. Yeah, you know, we got downtown here, and I had too many cameras going on. One camera's in front of the other. And you know, you watch, as soon as I speak in this drive, there'll be like a big traffic jam caused by a wreck or something. That's usually, even the traffic jams aren't bad. When we get traffic clogs, they don't usually take long. Live north of the river, which means we cross over the Broadway Bridge, and it's the one area that tends to clog all the time as far as traffic goes, because you're leaving the downtown loop. This is the downtown loop. It goes all the way around downtown, basically interstate. You're leaving the loop and you hit a light. This Broadway interchange here stops up traffic pretty good. I'm glad it's not utilized more heavily than it is, because otherwise it would be a real mess every day. Something to be avoided, but you know, even the worst of rush hour, it usually doesn't have more than a few minutes delay to people's time. Usually on this corner we have a lot of homeless guys who like to ply their trade here, which I don't like, not necessarily because of the homeless guys, but because it's not very safe. It's a blind corner and they like to stand right on the corner, and there's no sidewalk or anything, so yeah, someday there'll be an unfortunate incident. Looks like today they got quite a few of the corners covered. Yeah, and this is the Missouri River, and cross over the Broadway Bridge, and it is very pleasant. And then then we hit, we're on 169 heading north. This is the replacement for the old Jefferson Highway. And once you cross over the Broadway Bridge here, we have what we like to call planes, trains, and automobiles, because you have the downtown airport, you have the highway here, and then the Burlington Northern Santa Fe rail yard. And every so often you get the plane train, what we call the plane train. It's a train loaded with Boeing fuselages, and the fuselages are made in Boeing's Wichita plant, and then they ship them up to Washington, I think, to have the rest of the plane put on, the wings and the engines and everything else. So these are 727s, and they head north usually through here. So it's like planes, trains, and automobiles, and planes on trains. I know, I'm not that funny, but it's cool nonetheless. You see airplane fuselages going past you, and then right over here you see airplanes sometimes taking off and flying right over your head. But anyway, enough of this boorishness.